Hi, my name is Morgan Smith, and I'm a senior at NC State University in sport management. For my PRT 46 contemporary issue topic, I have chosen to look at the issues surrounding the use of collegiate advisors by baseball players. I chose this topic because I am interested in pursuing a sport law degree after graduation. First, I will define what an agent is in the eyes of the NCAA. Second, I look at current NCAA rules on advisors and agents for baseball. I will consider the growing pressures on student athletes and look at why the NCAA disagrees with agents. Then I will highlight a specific scandal related to the use of agents by a collegiate baseball player. I will then consider reasons for why players should be able to have an agent to determine their value. And finally, I will give my resolution to the problem and consider where it will go from here. Defining the issue. The NCAA defines an agent as someone who tries to market a player's skills to an MLB club or communicate directly with a team on a player's behalf. An advisor, in contrast, stays in the background while the player and his family negotiate directly with teams. The big issue for college baseball players is communication with the MLB clubs. They have to decide what to say, who to talk to, and how much they are worth without having their advisor and the MLB club communicate. Current NCAA rules. NCAA rules forbid student athletes to agree, orally or in writing, to be represented by an agent or organization in the marketing of his or her athletic ability or reputation until after the completion of the last intercollegiate contest, including postseason games. The NCAA prohibition includes all agreement that is not effective until after the last game. NCAA rules forbid a student athlete or his or her representative from negotiating or signing a playing contract in any sport in which the athlete intends to compete or to market the name or image. Athletes must consider where the line should be drawn. When it comes to the rules, athletes find issues with distinguishing between agents and advisors. Athletes who fail to recognize the difference between an advisor and agent put their eligibility at risk. Unlike in the NFL and the NBA, Major League Baseball drafts high school and college players while the NCAA tournament is still underway in early June, and before their eligibility has expired. There is a growing pressure to have an expert help you with negotiations due to the amount of money associated with being drafted. With the top pick receiving over $6 million in 2010, players want to get as much as they can based on their value when it comes to the draft. The NCAA says the use of agents is a violation of rules intended to preserve amateurism in college athletics. One executive for a major league team said that virtually every player has an agent. Call them a lawyer, call them an advisor, there's no difference. The NCAA views athletes' use of agents, whether the agents are compensated or not, as a sign that they are leaving the amateur world. The rule has proved difficult, if not impossible, to enforce. The NCAA has yet to provide clarity over what penalties await players and programs that knowingly or unknowingly violate it. In 2008, Andrew Oliver from Oklahoma State was declared ineligible for the 2008 NCAA regional tournament after it was discovered that advisors Bob and Tim Barata had sat in on negotiations with the Minnesota Twins in 2006. Oliver switched agents to Scott Boras in March 2008, and then the Barata brothers reportedly turned in Oliver to the NCAA and submitted a $113,775 bill for services rendered. Oliver filed a lawsuit and was reinstated to Oklahoma State because the judge ruled that the NCAA regulations limiting the role of attorneys in counseling student athletes are impossible to enforce and allow for the exploitation of players. In the Oliver case, the NCAA was only upset that he sought legal advice before making one of the most important decisions of his life. Judge Tone wrote, "For a student athlete to be permitted to have an attorney and then to tell that student athlete that his attorney cannot be present during the discussion of an offer from a professional organization is like hiring a doctor, but the doctor is told by the hospital board and the insurance company that he cannot be present when the patient meets with a surgeon because the conference may improve his patient's decision-making power." Advisors think that an 18-year-old kid should have the benefit of counsel when dealing with a professional franchise. Johnson, the lawyer for Oliver, stated that student athletes who are young, generally unsophisticated, and unable to hire legal counsel are being intimidated to give up all sorts of rights that no sane person would agree to do. Many agents have also spoken out about these issues, but wish to remain anonymous. One agent said, "Are you going to have Joe Bob, the refrigerator repairman, negotiating with the New York Yankees? The team has experts, and these kids and their families are playing in a field that they have no idea about." Baseball underestimates, in general, the magnitude of what kids are going through at this age, especially given the rapid growth in signing bonuses. You're 18 to 22, and you're talking about $7 million here. Rick Karcher, the director of the Florida Coastal School of Law's Center for Law and Sports and a former minor league player, says the NCAA's stance puts players at a disadvantage. The issues concerning value are running through every college baseball athlete's minds as well as the minds of their parents. In my opinion, college athletes in their senior year should be able to have agents do their negotiating for them during the postseason. These seniors stay to get their education and should be rewarded for it. This could possibly encourage student athletes to stay for their senior year. In addition, as the money associated with being drafted gets higher and higher, the pressure on student athletes to seek advisement will increase. Many do not see the point in having to be the middleman between the MLB scouts and their advisors. It will ultimately be up to the NCAA to decide where to go from here, but it does not look like anything will change anytime soon.